we aim to develop through this program will provide a transformative approach to maternal and child well-being. Now, as we embark on this auspicious journey, I kindly invite Mr. S.K. Prabhakar, IAS, Dr. Reema, Dr. Kuppalakshmi, Dr. Chamundi Shankari and Dr. Divya Shivaraman to come forward to light the ceremonial lamp, symbolizing the enlightenment and knowledge this program aims to spread. The flame of this lamp ignites the spirit of wisdom and compassion.
Good morning to the distinguished dignitaries on the dais, friends and students in the auditorium. Madras School of Social Work has been an academic and knowledge partner to several organizations. This is one such collaboration with Thunai Trust for Social Enterprise that promotes mental well-being and resilience that help individuals deal with life's challenges. Thunai's prime focus area are trauma recovery and maternal health. Today, this partnership has culminated in the launching of a new year-long blended learning approach, the postgraduate diploma in perinatal health. We are privileged to have Mr. S.K. Prabhakar, IAS, who presently heads the Public Service Commission, a Tamil orator and writer, is a crowd puller. Welcome, sir. Our guests of honor include Dr. Reema Chandramohan, the Director of Institute of Child Health, Egmore. Thank you, Doctor, to have accepted our invitation and being with us despite holding responsibility of a 850-bed facility catering to preterm and newborn babies. Another distinguished stalwart is Dr. Kuppalakshmi, Professor, Director, Institute of Obstetrics and Gynecology. We are happy to have you, madam. Your hospital puts Chennai in the India map as first women's hospital. Dr. Chamundi Shankari and the chairperson of Shruti Group and Dr. Divya are, I think, on their way. So they head an institute, fertility and maternity center. They promise they're on their way. So they will be shortly joining us. Our chairman, Mr. K.M. Matthew, IAS retired, is supportive and present with us whenever he sees purpose and meaning in any of our endeavors. Welcome, sir. Our principal, Dr. Raja Samuel, is at VIT at the moment, but his thoughts are with us. I acknowledge the presence of many of the dignitaries who are present here, especially a few to mention is an unsigned MOU that I have with Mr. Gangadharan, because anything in touch with hospitals, he approaches Madras School of Social Work and we approach him. So it's an unsigned MOU that we have with him. Mr. Girish, Dr. V.D. Swaminathan, Subhashri, Smita, Dr. Sridevi, the interns of the Thunai organization. Welcome. I welcome all the co-hosts who are present today. Apart from this, of course, Ekam Foundation, two of their representatives or three of their representatives are with us. Probably when I was talking to Thunai, they said they ignited some sort of a flame into Thunai itself to think in terms of this venture. So welcome all of you. A special mention to Dr. Subhashri, now HOD and Associate Professor of Psychology at VIT, who is instrumental. Why I make a special mention is she is instrumental in bonding MSSW with Thunai. Otherwise, they were somebody, we were somebody. but she helped us bond with them. And today we have seen the day, light of the day, because because we are academically oriented, we thought of connecting with Thunai, which is more a social organization for a purpose. So we started an academic program because of her endeavors, and she's taken leave. Just to say that how connected and dedicated a person is, I think probably the secret of her success also lies because she's taken leave and come and is present here today. So I acknowledge your presence. Thank you for being with us. Dr. Vaijayanti Mala needs no introduction because she is part of MSSW. She's now taken over wherever Dr. Subhashri left. She took over and she's helping, coordinating with Thunai to see that the program is launched and taken forward. I welcome the staff from other departments, especially Ms. Manjula. I thought she was here. She's there. Okay. And my own department staff, Dr. Kalyani, Dr. Shamin shortly. Yes, all of them who are present here with us. So I appreciate that you are all here. And last but not the least, the most important thing is our students who are here. I thank the media. The print media has been, even Hindu Times, everybody has been, Downtime has been covering us for this program for a long time, for the last fortnight or so. I thank the media for this coverage, and today whoever is present from the press and the media, I thank you once again. And students, of course, you are the heart and blood of this, and I think the people who have joined we had at present at the moment, we are not yet closed to admissions. We have about 15 participants, out of which at least 10 have registered already. So there are inquiries pouring in. We wish and hope that we start off with 20 candidates, participants for this program. I wish this program all the success and welcome once again one and all who are present here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I now take the pleasure to invite our chairman, K. Matthews, IAS retired, to give the presidential address.
Thank you, though I don't know what the clap was for. Anyway, dignitaries on the dais and my dear friends among the audience. MSSW, as you know, is just celebrated the Platinum Jubilee last year, and we have been trying to discipline the minds and intellects of youngsters in such a way so that they become a contributor to the welfare of the society. Whatever be the stream that MSSW offers, whether it be HR or psychology, at the end of which, when they pass out, they have a positive attitude, an awareness, a sensitivity to the needs of society. That has been our aim, and that purpose, more or less, we could keep it up. With those, MSSW of course needs no introduction. On a lighter note, the morning when I was having breakfast along with my wife, I said, oh my God, today there is a meeting at 10 o'clock, I need to be in a hurry. She said, what is this meeting? So I said, it's about perinatal health, and she guffawed. She said, what do you know about perinatal health? I said, zilch, I know nothing. But I know that a lot of women are depressed. Whether it be perinatal or whatever be the reason, they tend to be a little more towards the side of depression than men. There is a gender gap. And if you look at the statistics, you will see about 10 to 15% of the women are prone to depression, anxiety, finally depression. So there is a significant chunk of people in our society who needs attention. It is not only a medical issue, it is a socio-cultural issue. Of course, there is your anatomy is involved in that, in the sense the hormonal changes, If I step out of my house and go into somebody's house or trying to climb a tree, there is always somebody sort of controlling me, telling me, hey, what are you doing? Aren't you so and so? Aren't you so and so's son? Why are you doing this? I'm going to report you to your dad. That sort of control. But now that structure is no longer in existence. Of course, even in the villages it is no longer in practice. We have all sort of becoming nuclear families. We are all turning towards ourselves. There is no way of reaching out to the other persons. Politically, socially, we are all trying to belong to our own club. Our own, it is fragmented society, so to say. In such a situation, depression is more prone. You guys are more prone to depression. The pressures that work on you. We had a relaxed, just to share a personal experience. My boys are in United States of America, and when the schools close there, we go there to spend time with the grandchildren. Surprisingly, now they are all 10 plus. They have, compared to the childhood that we enjoyed, there's a tremendous change, a sea change. Whether there is class or not, their days are filled with tension. A child who is in 8th standard, our equivalent of 8th standard middle school, are preparing for an admission for an Ivy League college. Which means she has to attend special classes, she has to equip herself with extracurricular things, she goes for music, she goes for dance. This all brings additional marks for her this thing. And one goes for horse riding, the other goes for this thing. The entire day is taken up. At the end of the day, they are so tired, so sort of tense, with a bunch of work yet to be done. And that's no way for a child to grow up. I told my children, this is the textbook situation for a depressed generation. You need to relax, you need to enjoy life, you need to equip yourself with new experiences, you need to assimilate life, you need to build relationships, you need to strengthen your mind. There are so many things need to be done. It is not only these activities that are going to equip you to face the world. So depression being a fact of life, which was not so when we were growing up, but the current generation, I think this is a live problem and this needs to be addressed. And I'm very happy that Mr. Ganesh and his colleagues in Thunai have come forward and for effecting this sort of unity between the organization and the MSSW. As Dr. Subhashini said, Dr. Subhasri was the person who did this, and I'm happy that this marriage has taken place, and I hope this will survive and we will be able to serve the society. Thank you very much for making me a part of this.
We now have the privilege of learning more about this program through a presentation. I invite Dr. V.D. Swaminathan, retired professor in the Department of Psychology from the University of Madras, Chief Mentor, Thunai, and Ms. Smita Rajan, co-founder Program and Outreach Thunai Trust, to take us through the key insights and objectives of the PG Diploma in Perinatal Health.
Most respected our guests of honor and the august audience, it gives me an immense pleasure to present briefly an introductory note to the bird's eye view of the Perinatal Health PG Diploma program. I have collected, thanks to my research associates, over a period of 3 decades in the University of Madras, nearly 20% of mothers, suffer from postpartum depression. And in fact, it is likely to be slightly more now, especially after the corona. Then again, anxiety, which is very much linked with depression, also is reported by pregnant women, particularly primigravida women experience more anxiety, definitely during the first trimester of pregnancy and during the third trimester of pregnancy also. As the delivery time fast approaches, they entertain lot of legitimate doubts, and this has got telling impact on their postnatal phase, and it becomes depression. And it is just not anxiety and depression, which are, so to say, minor disorders, but unfortunately some of the women show major psychological problems where neurotransmitters get involved. So the psychologists will have to bank on the medical fraternity for the prescription of certain scheduled drugs, antipsychotic drugs we call them. So like this, lot of complications arise from time to time. To stem the rot, we thought that we would initiate this program so that the mother as well as every member of the family get the benefit of the social scientist intervention. In fact, I'd like to say that I'd like to quote an adage in English which says, "The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world." So our aim is to strengthen the hands so that the child in the cradle become more and more healthy as he or she is born. In fact, in Tamil also we say, "Thai 8 அடி பாய்ந்தான் குட்டி 16 அடி பாயும்." இது 16 அடி மட்டும் பாய போறதில்ல, 16 நற்செல்வங்களையும் பெற்று பெருவாழ்வு வாழ வேண்டும் என்பதுதான் இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமுடைய நோக்கம். In fact, in psychology we call it Flynn effect. Always the subsequent generation will be more intelligent than the previous generation. So we want every child to set all-time records by leaps and bounds so that society flourishes. Based on the technological sophistication, AI is going to come in, but at the same time, with partner pride, I should say the superiority of natural intelligence is so much that the artificial intelligence will have to play a second fiddle. And before I request Srimati Smita to take over from me, Dr. Vaijayanti Mala is going to propose a formal vote of thanks at the end of the program. But at the same time, on my behalf, I'd like to thank the dignitaries and the audience for their meaningful presence here on this occasion, and Madras School of Social Work for their solid support, and my flesh and blood in Thunai team for their unadulterated and unconditional positive regard for me. Thank you. Over to Srimati Smita.
Thank you, sir. It gives me a lot of pleasure and happiness to be presenting in front of all the dignitaries here. So moving on from where sir had established very clearly the need of bringing something. So there was a need and sir had established it very well. So taking on from there, we understood that we have to bring a supportive program closer to every mother and her family, which is going to be useful and accessible to her in terms of awareness, care and support. And with that intention, Thunai set up a two-way approach where we went into the institution with the purpose of also first working with the mothers, the focus on the mothers with all sorts of interventions which are non-clinical, non-invasive, and also the focus on the nurse and the staff, the caregivers, the doctors, the healthcare providers, the nurses, the admin staff, who are also the first point in contact for every mother and family who walk in to the institution. And we realize that appreciating their efforts into the system becomes primary when we are wanting to focus and target on mothers. So we have brought in a two-faced approach where we are able to target mothers by providing interventions like the one that you can see on the screen right now, practices, awareness programs, and simple to-do flashcards flip book with the focus on the three aspects: awareness, care, and support. And in terms of caregivers, we have been able to implement softening skills which have enabled them to warm up to the idea of empathy easily and also build in focus into care as an add-on to the wonderful work that they're already doing. And the institutions, of course, there have been roadblocks, there have been stumbling blocks, but we have also been welcomed with wonderful visionary institutions. Of course, Srishti is of course here, and we want to collaborate with other institutions who have the vision of directly providing care, support and awareness very close to home, and that's the focus. So as we talk about what we have been doing in terms of interventions and working with the mothers and the caregivers, we realize that there is also a great requirement of people who are professionally qualified to do so and build this, like they say, right, you need a village to raise a child, and having a mindful, professional village full of empathic people to provide that care, that focus, that support, that is the vision, of course, of the course. However, talking about the course gives me great pleasure because it is, of course, an idea that we had, way back. And I can see Dr. Subhashri and Subhashri ma'am nodding. And having an academic institution back us for this vision, understanding the professionality behind and the need for professionality behind is what was the pioneer for this course. The three pillars of the course is, of course, number one, the latest science and the evidence that is talking about the importance of perinatal health and its direct connection to the infant health. The unborn child in utero onwards is impacted by a mother's state of emotional well-being. And science says that if we start early, we can but establish a community of happy, resilient individuals. So the first aspect is, of course, the latest science that backs the theory or the idea that a community health is possible by simple awareness, simple support, simple care, very close to home for every mother and her family. The number two is, of course, bringing in culturally relevant practices. We have with us a toolkit that we have built. We are able to give it to our mothers and their families. Basic things, kolam, mandala, basic yogic posture, flow movements, nutrition, talking about the traditional aspects, right? We have a lot of practices where we talk about the valagappu and the different ways of doing valagappu, and then, all of that. So bringing in culturally relevant practices closer to home, therefore having more acceptance. And number three, of course, the course itself provides the opportunity for the students to professionally learn by directly working with the mothers and their families. So the simulation per se is going to be under proper guidance and supervision, where they are going to be interacting directly with the mothers, of course under supervision and guidance on how to spread awareness, care and support. Here is a brief course overview. Of course, Dr. VDS sir has already established a few points. I'm just going to quickly go through them, the important aspects. Number one, this is a professional training, which means that there is going to be a whooping amount of virtual theoretical study a lot of psychological concepts, a lot of developmental psychology, a lot of infant psychology, a lot of gender-based psychology, a lot of women's psychology, and so all of the 100 whooping hours of theory and 100 hours of experiential and practical, which is going to work in two schemas. The first one being dealing with their own self. The students are going to be working on themselves first, because an aware practitioner is the most focused practitioner. So the students are going to be encouraged by working with themselves, their own abilities, their own professional capabilities, and also a lot of time spent in the healthcare setting where they are going to be working directly with the mothers and their families and so on. The second part is there is equal importance, of course. There is 100 hours of classroom training and a 100 hours of direct experiential practical work as well. We also have a pool of globally acclaimed professionals and academicians, and they are going to be providing master classes. A little bit backstory is that the first interaction with the Madras School of Social Work was our faculty development program, wherein we got in the global pool of experts to do the training with the faculty, and may I say what a wonderful, humbling experience it was. And of course, putting it together was no joke, but we made it happen, and that was in fact the start of what we are now calling as trained professionals who are going to be supervisors for the students in the setting. So what do we do? After the students have professionally developed themselves, our vision, our hope, the institution and Thunai's hope is of course to see more and more hospital administrations, healthcare setups, public healthcare setups to be open to welcome these trained professionals into bringing in their expertise and their practice, because the focus remains only to bring care, support and awareness closest to a mother and her family. So we believe that the fertility treatment clinics and the healthcare settings are going to be the first wave to welcome the trained perinatal counselors. And for practitioners who are already in the field of psychology, this is going to be an add-on, because a niche is always looked up to in the field of psychology or in any helping professionals. Of course, there are stalwarts here, needless to say, right? So developing their own niche and working with the sex population is what we believe is the focus and the target of the course. And number 3, professionals such as nutritionists, doulas, birth educators, yoga experts, dancers, dance exercise experts like myself. So they also professionally develop their skills to build a niche into their work, making it more captivating, again, more available, more closer to home. Needless to say, no, they don't need an introduction. The program advisors that we have with us, of course we have Dr. Subhashini here, Dr. Swaminathan sir here. We have one of our advisors is Dr. Najia Atif, who has trained all of the faculty members in the Madras School of Social Work in the FDP program in what is the Thinking Healthy program, a WHO endorsed manual which is loosely based on CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and has aspects from it making yet again access closer to home and providing support for a pregnant mother and her child and family. We also have Dr. Govind Krishnamurthy from Brisbane, a clinical psychologist from the University of Southern Queensland, and an industrial expert, Dr. Mahima Muralidharan, a clinical psychologist. Needless to say, they have all been the building brains. We have brainstormed with each of them hours and hours of brainstorm, and that's the product that we see today. So happy to bring it here. And the master class that we are talking, that I just talked about, the global experts, you would see Harita here and Dr. Anne Collin, who's from Yale, who's a dance and exercise exponent. and Harita, who's a childbirth and lactation educator who has also been a part of the FDP program. And I'm happy to note and also let you know that the masterclass experts, we are still increasing, and the numbers of people pouring in even close to home like Nimhans and offering their support is very heartening, and we feel in gratitude, and also I'm happy to say that to you at this forum, at this launch. Lastly, what we would really like to see is to create empowered professionals in this field in order to develop the first league of professionals in the field of perinatal health. And these perinatal counselors will be the first league, will walk the path afresh. And of course, we need your blessing, your care, your support and your guidance as we progress along this path. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, sir, for enlightening us about the importance of perinatal and prenatal health and also about the components of the program. Now, it is my honor to invite our esteemed chief guest, Mr. S.K. Prabhakar, IAS, Honorable Chairman, Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission. He has served as the Revenue Secretary, PWD and Home Secretary of the Tamil Nadu government. He is an avid reader in both English and Tamil. He has written a book, which is about mindfully living in the present and savoring each moment to address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you. I thank Madras School of Social Work and Thunai Trust for giving the wonderful opportunity to me for being with you this morning and being in this wonderful program. Dr. Matthew, my esteemed senior IAS colleague and boss, he spoke little before me. I have a slight slight advantage compared to Dr. Matthew. Sometimes the teachers, see, as soon as they enter the class, they give you a quiz and test you. Sometimes they make a small presentation and then they test you once again with quiz. So I feel blessed to have a small presentation by Thunai before my speech, so that I can understand the program which is spanning before all of you in the next academic year. I am very privileged to stand in this august institution, Madras School of Social Work. We have been party and we have attended many higher education institutions, but I am especially privileged to be here in Madras School of Social Work because of the esteemed history, starting with Madam Klabala Jadhav, and also it addresses a particular lacking aspect of humanity for which you are all going to work in your professional life all through. We had an army attachment during our training period, and we were sitting in some officer's room. So there we happened to read one small anecdote which was written in a board there. So it talks about four persons who are always there among us. Anybody, everybody, somebody and nobody. When something common needs to be done, something which is affecting all which needs to be done, everybody thinks somebody will do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. In the end, the small problem becomes a bigger problem. Now everybody is affected. Then everybody starts blaming somebody. But in fact, nobody can blame anybody. So that's what I read in that army officer's room, which has got engraved in my mind. See, ultimately, we have to make everyone realize that they are that somebody who has to work for the rest of the society. So you have taken that as your profession, as your academics, and you are going to do it in the rest of your life. So really, I salute you and appreciate you for taking this particular academic course as part of your future. Now coming to perinatal health. See, health has many aspects and many dimensions. Particularly when it comes to women, Mr. Matthew explained very beautifully. See, even for them to express their illness, they hesitate a lot. They don't say at the first sight. They take a lot of time and they think whether it should be told to others. Then they tell somebody. Then they cannot come to hospital on their own. Somebody has to transport them. Somebody has to accompany them. Somebody has to lose their one-day salary to take them to hospital. So they think 10 times before they voice their illness. Then after that, The other party thinks that taking them to hospital alone, they have done a great job and they have taken care of their needs. But that's not alone sufficient. Again, it may require follow-up. And again, giving medicines and giving some treatment alone is not sufficient. There are multiple dimensions to illness. There's a psychological dimension, there's a social dimension, and several other dimensions are there. I was doing my master's in US as part of my administrative career. We went to 1 year to Boston. I did my MPA in Kennedy School of Government. So during that time, I realized how much ignorant all of us are regarding other dimensions of needs of people. Like I was in a railway station once, metro station of that time. So the train was approaching at that time. So there was an announcement in the loudspeaker saying the train approaching, train approaching. So then I was asked, we were just chatting among the friends. So the train is coming, all of us know that, why is it being announced? Then somebody said there could be a there could be a blind person. So how will you know that the train is approaching? So it is being announced. Then there was a yellow line which is just close to the platform and it was blinking. Then I was asking why this yellow line is blinking. Then they said, see, there could be a deaf person who cannot hear. So there are so many dimensions which we take for granted. Only when we put ourselves in the situation of the other person, we will understand that the particular need is still existing and it needs to be addressed. The same way, perinatal health, as Professor Swaminathan explained very beautifully, even in Indian mythology, there are references about people like Abhimanyu who learnt when they were in the mother's womb. They learnt about Chakravyuha when some of their relatives were discussing about it, and he learnt only a part of it. So, the tradition of attending to women's psychological issues, particularly when they are pregnant and during their pre-delivery and post-delivery phases, that has been highlighted quite well. But how do we address it? While lighting this lamp, all of us came together and we lit it. There was government, there was institution, there was voluntary agency, NGOs. So only when all of us come together we can address such critical things. Otherwise we'll do an academic course, we'll do a field course, but we have to blend multiple sectors to give a full dimension to the children when they graduate and they go out of the college. Even government has been doing a lot of schemes like non-Mudalvan and other schemes by which they try to impart skill-based courses and training for students so that when they go out they become full-fledged professionals. So that scheme and similar initiatives can be tapped by institutions like Madras School of Social Work so that the students get exposure to bigger dimensions of academic field which is available. When I was in Harvard again, see, normally we take 4 or 5 courses in every semester and complete about 10 courses and you get your degree, if it is a 1-year program. But there I was surprised to see they said that you can take either 8 courses or you can take 12 courses. Choice is yours. Even if you complete 8 courses, you will be called Master of Public Administration. Even if you complete 12 courses, you will be called Master of Public Administration. So I was surprised. And Indians, we tend to take more courses because we want to study more and get good grades and all those things. But the professors, their advice, don't take more courses. Take less courses because the learning takes place not just in college. Learning takes place in every corridor. Learning takes place in every street of Boston. You should explore and try to enrich yourself because there are so many seminars, there are so many events, student events. So everything is a learning opportunity. So that way, I'm glad that programs like this one, Perinatal Health for Pregnant Women, and similar other programs, you should try to involve either as a academic requirement or as an audit course where you can just participate. It can be a shorter version, longer version, multiple ways of learning. Even I am learning so many courses online through Coursera. I just, while traveling in the car, I just switch on and I've been learning about conflict management. I've been learning about many of the anxiety and stress related issues. All that it's available everywhere. So the same way the students should make use of the facilities which have been done here. And coming to Thunai's particular role, Girish is my dear friend from college. So I've seen him as a student like you and we have interacted since then. Really, I'm amazed to see the perseverance which Thunai team has had and they have followed it up so systematically. They have come to me 4 or 5 years back with this idea and we made some connection with health secretary and other people, but I never knew it will mature into a wonderful academic program. See, it's really not easy to convince an academic institution to take it up. They have rigorous standards, and unless it is meeting their requirements, they would not have agreed. And I'm glad that, like as you say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a small step. So you have followed at every single step and brought this course to its logical conclusion. So I appreciate this course, and this course I hope it will get standardized with the rest of the courses in the world, and it will have a shorter version also, so that people can understand the essence of the course, and that can be utilized subsequently. Ultimately, I would like to conclude my speech by saying that, like Professor Matthew, or our Chairman Matthew sir also touched upon that point. See, ultimately academics, at the end of the college, we may not remember anything. You read different subjects, you forget it also after some time. So what is that remains in your mind after you study? So initially we think like this was Dr. Abdul Kalam. I attended one of his speeches, so he was mentioning about it. So when initially we think that we know nothing, everybody, others should help us and they should guide us and they should handhold us. Then after some time you realize that I know something, somebody else knows something, so we join together, and as a partnership venture we try to learn more. Then after some point of time you realize that even Mr. Matthew sir was mentioning that you realize that you have everything now. Now you can give back to society. You become an autonomous individual. So that is at the end of the culmination of your studies. If you feel that you are an autonomous individual who can take care of yourself, you can contribute to the rest of the society, I think that is the real success of education. So I'm glad to see such a wonderful combination of various aspects in this particular program. A beautiful institution with great history, focusing purely on social work, and a voluntary agency which is purely focusing on psychological aspects of perinatal health. And there are academic institutions represented by very top doctors of Tamil Nadu who are here to help you out in the field laboratory. So I think you can see for yourself the demonstration and learn from practical experience. I think there cannot be a better combination than this to learn, and it becomes a joy to continue with this program. So I appreciate all the people for bringing out this wonderful program and for making me part of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable perspectives and insights. I request our Dean, Dr. Subhashini, to present our chief guest with a moment. Ma'am has 25 years of teaching experience in neonatology. Her exemplary contributions have been recognized through numerous awards, including the Outstanding Women Achiever from the Tamil Nadu Dr. MGR Medical University in 2012 and the Best Doctor Award from the Government of Tamil Nadu in 2024. Professor Chandra Mohan has published 14 articles on... Over to you, ma'am.
Sorry to interrupt. My CV will make relevant somewhere else, not here when I have bigger dignitaries on the dais. Good morning to one and all. First of all, let me congratulate the members of Madras School of Social Work and Thunai Trust for coming together. First of all, a big what should I say, namaskaram for coming up with this program which is so close to my heart. I have been working in the neonatology department for more than 20 years, subsequently followed up with development pediatrics. So I know how much a mother's mental health matters. And I'm really happy that you're putting this together, and I'm sure although they did not show the faculty being doctors, I'm sure they will also be part of this group, because we are seeing the effects of poor maternal mental health on our little ones. So we might think that maternal stress is something which is recent. Not so. Now, why would they have a valakapu? Why would a mother be sent to her mother's house in the last 3 months? Only to ensure that her mind is at peace. She can go through the process of delivery without Maybe a nagging environment at her in-laws' place or excessive demands till the last very minute. Maybe that may be the reason why she was given a more peaceful environment. So maternal stress is not new. But the stress levels have increased, as we all know. It starts off probably, as he said, from the school age, when a girl has to decide what she has to study. Then after that, when she goes to college, questions start about when is her marriage, when she's married, when is she going to conceive, when she conceives, is it a boy or a girl? And there is no end to the stress that a woman undergoes. And more so, when she is pregnant, there are so many changes in her body, physical, hormonal changes. Even a normal woman would definitely experience depression and anxiety. Forget about those who already have psychotic illnesses. Our main aim should be to support these women. So we do not have we do not have a screening program as such for antenatal women. We do not have anything like that. When they come up with a problem, we then tackle it. I think from now on, we should have a screening program. We should have minimum about 10 questions. I don't know if it is part of the course. Just administer that questionnaire. We do it in pediatrics to find out whether a child has a problem or not, neurological problem. Just 10 simple questions. So some questions like that. And I would always prefer it if it can be done with the husband and the in-laws. Because always a woman's problems, if they are not, very highly manifest, are always poo-pooed. You're always saying this, you're always saying that. They do not realize that it is a very vulnerable period, and they should realize that if a mother's mental health is good, it is going to, enhance that child's life and also the progeny. So why don't you support the mother when she needs it? So I had a personal experience. There was a woman who could not be, she was suddenly missing from the maternity hospital. And when they traced the camera, up to the gate, they knew that she had left the last they saw was the mother standing beside the baby, keeping the clothes and the diaper. And then at the gate, they saw her leaving the hospital. They did not know what happened to her. But the next day, it came out in the paper that this woman had jumped in front of the train. Isn't that the worst thing that can happen to a woman? Suicidal tendencies are very high when the mother is overly depressed. We should not allow another maternal death due to suicide. It is a very big loss. What will happen to the poor child? Who is going to take care of them? If the child has siblings, who is going to take care of that family? Just imagine what that would have driven that mother to such a state. I think we definitely need to support her. And another person who I have seen going through postpartum depression is a staff nurse, a healthcare worker. She couldn't sleep. She just kept, we saw her because her baby was in our postnatal ward. She would just get up every half an hour, and then I don't think she slept for 1 month after the baby was born. She would just get up and say, my baby doesn't have milk. My baby doesn't have milk. Is my baby all right? So that 1 month she was in a very bad shape. Then of course we got some help from the psychiatrist. And now when I see her, I'm so happy because her child is going to college. The support that she got at that time has made all the difference. So I think what the main thing that we have to do is screening. And then we will try to support the women as much as possible, empathize with them, because they should know that they're not going through this all by themselves. Give them as much support as possible. Even in the postnatal ward, we can, if they are always sitting together and chatting, maybe they can play some games or watch some TV or do some little handwork which will take their minds off all the anxieties of having had a preterm baby or a sick baby, because the high stress hormones like the steroids which are produced during the mother's anxiety has an effect on the fetus. It can affect the brain development. It can result in low birth weight or preterm babies. And if we have an increased incidence of autism and ADHD, for which we do not know the cause, we can blame it on this maternal stress. And I think it's high time we all join together and save our moms, give them a good pregnancy, let them enjoy pregnancy and postpartum life, and I think we owe it to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I request Ms. Smita Rajan to present ma'am with the memento. I next invite Dr. G. Puppalakshmi, MDOL, Director and Professor, Institute of Obstetrics and Gynecology.
Sure. Because we've got a meeting at the Dean's office now. Thank you. I'm sorry to interfere. Good morning to our respected Chief Guest Sir and the dignitaries and my colleague ma'am and my dear friends and the lovable students. It's an honor for me to present in front of you, and the aspects, everything is covered by our chief guest and the dignitaries, and I can share a few experiences I have in my practice. First of all, the health of an individual starts from the womb. So, you have to embark on the nutritional aspect of the women. If the mother or mother-in-law who is bringing the pregnant women to my clinic, I used to address on that anemia, the importance of anemia and the nutritional aspects. If I say you take what is that, perichambalam, jaggery and all, ayyo doctor adella saapta koyanda karupa porako. Who said like this? An anemia tablet. Because anemia, you know the prevalence of anemia in pregnant women? It is 80%, because even the affluent society will be, the affluent mother will be having anemia because of the more demand on the pregnancy on and iron. So every woman should be given an iron supplement. So if I say, please take iron, no, my baby will be born with a dark skin. So this myth you have to take it from the attenders. The mother will understand, the women will understand, but the attenders will not give them the proper care. So you have to counsel not only the pregnant women, but you have to counsel the attenders, the mother or mother-in-law. Next is the age of the marriage. We are receiving lot of teenage pregnancies. You know the teenage pregnancies and their implications. One patient, one example, it was a child that was an unmet pregnancy. She's just 14 years old, who came to our hospital with the 26 weeks of pregnancy. We can't even go for abortion. And we are offering, in spite of it, we are offering her, because of her mental health and the immaturity, we offered her the abortion service. But she denied. Point blank, she denied. No, I am going to have this baby. You think about how she is going to take care of the baby as well as the health, as well as her health. So the education it should start from the school health itself. From the school. So while doing your course, you have to have a program to go and address the children in the school also. I'll ask my Thunai team to help on that. And the next is, and the age, not only the teenage pregnancies, the age at it's more than 30 years, because most of them will want to settle in their life and then go for marriage. And even if they are getting married, they'll postpone the pregnancy after they are stabilizing. So in that course, if they are becoming pregnant after 30 years, all the complications will come. Nowadays, we are seeing the mother with 45 years, 47 years, because of our IVF centers. They are doing exemplary job, but in spite of it, these mothers are landing up with so many complications. So you have to address them on that age at marriage, age at pregnancy. Next is as you are going to do your course, you can come to our hospital. This Institute of Obstetrics and Gynecology got a lot of clinical materials there. If you want to do a clinical, if you want to have a training in our center, with the proper permission, we'll give you all the support, and you can do lot of research methods. So I'll definitely help you in that, but you have to get a prior permission from our higher officials. You got a lot of clinical materials there, and I welcome you all, and I sincerely give my thanks to the dignitaries and the Thunai team and our MSSW.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Ms. Subhashri to present ma'am with a memento. I now invite Dr. Chamundi Shankari, a highly skilled microsurgeon and one of the most reputed and highly reliable medical practitioner and a chairperson of Shrishti Group, a world-renowned fertility chain in the capital city of Tamil Nadu. As the founder and managing trustee of Shrishti Group of Medical Research Foundation, she provides support for infertility, cancer, AIDS, female infanticide, malnutrition of pregnant and postnatal women. Ma'am, in 2001, Ornalo's Association of Medical Graduates also acknowledged her excellence for awarding her as the Best Distinguished Physician. In 2015, she was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award for her.
It's okay. It's all right. We're running out of time. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning to ladies and gentlemen, and my special wishes to the dignitaries on the dais and Mr. Prabhakar. Yes, I have immense pleasure, and I thank the MSSW and the Thunai Trust to have invited me to share my views on perinatal health. Perinatal health, as you all know, it starts right from the 22 weeks of pregnancy and to 1 year after delivery also. So perinatal health is much not attended by us actually. And as Dr. Kupulakshmi rightly said, women always neglect their health actually. They, as a child, as a sister, as a mother, as a wife, as a grandmother, in all walks of life, they always take care of the people around them. I mean, of course, it was almost some time ago it was like that. I don't know if it is like that today because of the changing world now. But so, because of that, they always have anemia and all that. And anemia is one of the important causes for the maternal mortality. And now, with the government's efforts, it has come down drastically. And now, death to anemia is becoming less and less because government goes to the house and gives the iron tablets and protein and all that to the women so that they can kind of protect themselves from anemia. And Thunai Trust, when they came and talked to me about this perinatal health program, I was really impressed because it is a wonderful program for women, and the mental it's a wonderful program because women in the perinatal period are not looked after well by the people around them. That is the main important attitude. And in Thunai Trust, they were, in our Srishu hospital, we are doing treatment for infertility cases. There, of course, the girls, they come and cry actually. Even 1 month after marriage, the in-laws will put pressure on them. Why pregnancy has not happened?
So even after 1 month, 2 months, they come and cry. So it's a lot of stress, as Dr. Rama rightly said. And it is a lot of stress for them in when undergoing fertility treatment. And when they conceive, also the pressure is too much, because whether they will have a normal baby, whether they will have a normal delivery, whether they will have whether there will be any problems during pregnancy, all that they are worried all the time and stressed all the time. So to relieve all this, a proper counselor is very, very important. Of course, we have a counselor in our hospital, but a perinatal counselor is one important person who starts right from the, as I said, 22 weeks of pregnancy. They can start counseling the patient, and of course after delivery also. As Dr. Rama said, the screening of mental health conditions is very important, because we should not take it for granted that this lady is normal. So we have to screen them for routine mental health screening and identifying high-risk women. And counseling and therapy is also very important. As Dr. Smita said, cognitive behavioral therapy is very important, and interpersonal therapy, group therapy, and mindfulness-based interventions is very important. Family and partner involvement, involving partners and family members also is very important, and couples counseling is very important, because many of the time the woman comes alone, not accompanied by the husband. But these days, the youngsters, they accompany their wife all the time, and I really appreciate that attitude of the young people these days. And education and awareness, it can be got by antenatal classes regularly, and postpartum care education, and crisis intervention and support for severe cases will be specialized care for severe mental health conditions, and 24/7 crisis helpline. Peer support programs is very, very important, because in abroad, many of the conditions they have peer groups. They can discuss with each other and clear their doubts, and they will be comfortable also to clear their doubts with the with women who are in the same group. So postpartum doula services also is very important, and mother-to-mother support group also is very important. Addressing social determinants, support of low economic, low income group, isolated mothers, has to be done by government hospitals mainly, and when they come to us also, we do a lot of help to them through our trust actually. And culturally sensitive support also is very, very good for them. Pharmacological support is by safe use of antidepressants and anxiety medications. Follow-up and continuity of care is more important, because postpartum follow-up is very important, because many of the women get the depression in the immediate postnatal period. That has to be kind of diagnosed and properly handled. Benefits of psychological support in the perinatal period would be improved maternal mental health, enhanced parent-child bonding, better family outcomes, and lower rate of adverse outcomes. As the previous speaker said, one lady, she went from the hospital and committed suicide. Those kind of tragedies should be avoided by our proper institution of this counseling. So I congratulate Thunai Trust and MSSW for starting this course and producing many counselors, especially perinatal counselors, who will go to every hospital and help the women. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Next, I invite Dr. Divya Shivaraman, Consultant and Medical Director of Shrishti Fertility Center. Ma'am has over 15 years of experience in treating complex fertility conditions. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. That's very kind. Anevarkum Vanakkam. Thank you so much for inviting us. At the outset, I'm so privileged to be sharing the same stage as such great people and quite insightful talks. It was brilliant. What can I say? We got this acquaintance with Thunai Trust and MSSW. I think we are running close to a couple of years now, and I've got so much to learn from them. The perseverance and being persistent on doing this thing. It's truly inspiring. Truly inspiring. Thank you guys for nurturing me with that particular emotion, to be honest. Okay, so coming to medical education, I've always felt that I think the Indian medical curriculum, there is a big vacuum for mental health, and only when we started taking competitive exams abroad did we actually understand that mental health is such an important thing. When we take exams like PLAB for to work in the UK, we would be given stations like take the blood pressure, do a IV cannulation. These are just peanuts for us because we'd be doing that on a daily basis sort of thing. But then we had more people failing all those stations, and we were shocked to see what was actually going wrong. But the problem there was what they were actually looking for is, you go there, are you explaining the procedure to the patient? Are you getting the consent? Are you are you making sure that the patient is safe and is as much as possible painless to a certain extent? Are you kind of addressing their thoughts of whether they are emotionally kind of terrified about the whole procedure? It could be anything. So that's when I realized that there's been a major vacuum as doctors when we're trained here. I have to admit that across the world, Indian doctors, they kind of head every department, and it's amazing how Mother India has produced such wonderful doctors. I'm truly amazed and proud of our Indian doctors, totally. But when it comes to this empathy and the professionalism and the compassion, probably we have a little bit of lacuna there. So that's when we realize that, because every time when we sit for exams, there's a condition for any condition. If you write cognitive behavioral therapy, that's 1 mark for us. That's how important it is. Say for example, in our in our field, where endometriosis is a condition. It's a dooming condition where the woman's going to have pain every cycle. It's going to be so bad that she might have to take off from her work, or say for example menopausal women. So a happy woman has a happy family. So suddenly all of a sudden the woman in her 40s gets all the mood swings and everything, then the whole family suffers. It was never ever addressed. They just think it's part of their change of life, and that's how it is to be. And then suddenly the mum becomes all irritable, and they just say it's just a change of life and just put it off. And we never ever address that. And but thanks to people like you guys who made it such an important thing to take this as a core subject, as a livelihood for yourself. And I have a lot of respect for you guys for doing this. Thank you so much. So again, coming to mental health, and I'm sure all of them have already kind of talked about, but then it can happen to somebody who's even giving a psychological counseling. So that's how you cannot expect who's going to get it. Okay, it might be somebody who's a doctor, who's a healthcare provider, who gives a psychological care to a patient on a daily basis. Because it has a lot to do with hormones and how it kind of plays out. Yeah, because we had a patient who wanted to conceive within the next 6 months, and she wanted to have a boy because she already had a girl, and she was expecting her father to be reborn. And then it was quite complicated, her pregnancy, and then she had a nice vaginal birth. So everything she wanted happened, but yet after 2 weeks she had suicidal tendencies. So that's how I don't have the right word to put it, because that's how the hormones play up, and we do not know who's going to do that. All of a sudden, sometimes it's too impulsive, sometimes it's too late to kind of catch them. So that's why we made it a point, of course with the help of Thunai Trust, that we do this triaging program and a screening program at every point, so that at every point we are able to kind of identify those people, because they do not know, and they have come up with such beautiful questionnaires, such clever questionnaires, which will kind of actually identify. At the same time, it asks questions in a way that they are kind of answering that, not even kind of processing for that particular question, but then it can cleverly identify who's going to be a candidate for depression or anxiety or anything. And we did a lot of study, especially in our field. Men have more of anxiety and women have more of depression. It's both, we've done like multiple questionnaires. There's something called vertical questionnaire, and present a paper as well. We have a publication as well, because they are going to be because the fertility or getting pregnant with fertility treatment it's a very, very daunting thing, because for somebody who it just happens. For them, it's going to be such a difficult thing. Something which happens so physiological is such a difficult thing for that particular couple. So it's going to be extremely difficult. So that's why we thought we have to start a program which will address to that problem. And the one other thing is kind of reaching these programs to the couples is becoming such a big task for us. It's very challenging, only because the minute we say we've come to kind of support you, we're going to come give support to mental health. When we say mental in it, they just think it's mental actual meaning. So they just think okay, I have no problems. You just look at the thing. When I have, so all the questionnaires, if they ask you, they will say, are you having difficulty in sleeping, or are you anxious about this? Everything is they say just no. So it happens all the time. And then we actually kind of talk to them and then say this is actually for us to help you, because you need, when we're going through fertility treatment, and especially when after they conceive with fertility treatment, they have so much of self-doubts whether this baby is going to be alright, like Madam said. So at every point we need to kind of handhold them and take them. So that's why we thought we should come up with a program which addresses the whole thing in a much earlier instance, so that the pregnancy would be much smoother, because happy moms make happy babies. So that's how it was birth of the military program. So it's my lethargy and procrastination, in spite of having such a fantastic team, it's getting delayed, but then it's definitely in the pipeline, and it will kind of come to it will be handed over to the deserving couples soon. That's one thing. And then empathy. When I come to empathy, it was such a life lesson when I went to the blind school in Ahmedabad. For half an hour, we'll be in a room of pitch dark. And then a blind person will be asked to lead us and kind of navigate our way out. And that's when we realized, what have we been doing? So I took that course as part of a business module, and then they had said this is how a couple would be feeling when they come for fertility treatment or whatever to your hospital. You might be presuming, you might be doing this on a day-to-day basis, like a bread and butter, but for them, everything is new. You'll have to sit down and explain everything. So when the blind person was leading us, they said there will be a bell, you just have to go through that, you will hear this, you will hear. So that's how we realized that actually there's so much we've been kind of missing out on. And we do take a lot of time trying to explain, but then we need a professional like you guys who take up and would be able to kind of identify their inner problem and do that hand-holding. So I have a lot of respect for you guys, and thank you so much for letting us be a part of this. And you're going to go leaps and bounds, and this program is going to be so a super hit. And I'll come back when in 100 days or so, when there are more registrations, and of course be a part of this. Thank you once again. Thank you.
I request Dr. Sri Divya to present ma'am with a memento. I request Mr. Girish Kumar, co-founder, Thunai Trust, to present a memento to our chairman, K.A. Matthew, IAS retired. We have B.R. Devika ma'am wants to present a few books to the dignitaries as a token of love.
This is a book on Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy that I wrote. Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy, the first woman doctor in India and the founder of the Cancer Institute. She talks a lot about the health of the woman, the prenatal and postnatal. So there's one whole chapter dedicated to that. So Girish asked me to bring some copies and give them to you. By the way, this book won the Lardli Media Award for Non-Fiction 2023.
Thank you, ma'am. To conclude, I invite Dr. Vajayati, Associate Professor MSSW, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning. It's my privilege to have the opportunity to express my gratitude to the dignitaries on this special occasion. On behalf of MSSW and Thunai, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Mr. S.K. Prabhakar, IAS, Chairman, Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, for gracing the occasion and delivering the Chief Guest address. It's a tremendous honor for us to have you here, sir. I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to our distinguished guest, Dr. Reema Chandramohan, Director, Institute of Child Health, Egmore, Dr. Kupulakshmi, Director and Professor, Institute of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Madras Medical College, Dr. Chamundi Shankari, Chief Consultant, Chairperson, Srishti Group, and Dr. Divya Shivaraman, Consultant, Medical Director, Srishti Group, for accepting our invitation and making time for us today despite of their hectic schedules. The significance of this event has been greatly increased by your presence. I am grateful to you, ma'am. So we have taken all your inputs with regard to the curriculum and also enhancing our curriculum. We will definitely incorporate. As you rightly said, we have a screening procedure. Based on the screening, we will go for the intervention. So, and also we have a panel of doctors as an expert in our panel. So all those things will be definitely incorporated in our curriculum. I also take this opportunity to express my thanks to our chairman, Mr. K.A. Matthew, retired IAS, for his constant support and guidance. Thank you, sir. I also thank Dr. S. Rajasamuel, our principal, for his unwavering support in all directions in all our endeavors. My profound gratitude goes to Dr. R. Subhashni, our dean, who has always been a beacon of hope, giving us direction and support minute by minute. I am really grateful to you, ma'am. My sincere thanks goes to Thunai team for their hard work in planning this inauguration as well as implementing the entire course. I also thank my own friend Dr. Subhashri, who is the head of the Department of Psychology, VIT Chennai, for her contribution right from the beginning, designing the curriculum and also coming to this stage. Finally, I want to express my gratitude for the students who have been enrolled for this course. I think you have got more and more inputs. Of course, you can stay back after this program so that if you need any clarifications or any discussions, we can continue. And finally, I want to thank the student volunteers, especially the MC and also people with the technical team. I just told them yesterday we are having this program. They really came us forward and did a lot of job. Yesterday they sent me the notes and all those things. So within no time they had made this preparation. I just want to express my sincere thanks to all of them. So I thank one and all present here. Thank you.